So hey Fish Fam, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and I'm here today to play my bread and butter Simic Merfolk deck, the list that has basically been giving me all my treasure chests, all my ticks, what's grinding me the best, going 4-1 consistently. No 5-0s, but I feel like I'm pretty unlucky to not get those 5-0s, but this is hands down the list that has been the best to me and most consistent, and definitely what I would take to any big tournament that I'm playing online. And I'm more or less going to make a small tweak with Aether Gust and see how well that works in the deck. And if you want to see the evolution of Simic Merfolk piloted by the Merfolk Master, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Before we get into our deck tech, we are going to thank our sponsors, starting with the manabase.com. And I believe the Manabase has a giveaway of Zendikar Rising. And if you want to be eligible for that giveaway, go check out the Manabase to be eligible on the manabase.com, your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And Mana Traders. We're going to thank our sponsor, Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. If you want to support the channel, you can use my Mana Traders link in the description below. Or if you want to play any deck, any format, anytime, you can also use my coupon code Nikachu to get 20% off your first 3 months at Mana Traders. So then we're going to thank them for being our sponsor. So yeah, Simic Merfolk, I mean, the thing that I like about this list a lot is just the proactive plan, and I win more game ones than, I do than any other list. And what I really like about Simic Merfolk, as we have seen in all the gameplay videos, is that against other decks that are racing me, like humans, I race them. I race them way better than they race me. If you're going to play, like, a more clunky... if you're going to be playing a more clunky version of Merfolk, like the more tempo-y versions, like the Luris build, you're going to have a hard time interacting and beating or racing the humans decks or any other deck that's trying to race you. I will say this, I'm not going to race Prowess. I will get my head stomped by Prowess. And at this point, I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to have a losing record against Prowess, and I don't care. I'm just going to try to scrape away 30% match win percentage in the long run with my sideboard plan of Aether Gusts and Chalice of the Voids, and that's basically what I'm going to do. And so anyway, my only adjustment to this list is I found that maybe Harbinger, the extra Harbingers that I used to have 4, they might have been redundant, and you know what? Maybe I can free up some sideboard slots by replacing 2 of them, adding Brazen Borrower, because they're basically a very similar card. I prefer the Harbinger because it is no mana. There's no more mana that I have to sink into the card in order to put a creature on the battlefield while still tempoing out my opponent. Whereas with Brazen Borrower, I got to bounce, they got to pay 3 mana. You get the idea. So that gave me some room to add some Aether Gusts to the sideboard. And for the most part, my sideboard is the same as usual. So I got Aether Gust in here, hoping that it's going to help my Red-Green Prowess matchup, my Titan matchups. So the thing is, Titan can be played off of Counter Souls, and it's uncounterable. But Aether Gust will put it on top of their library, or on the bottom, depending what they choose. But point is, we have a way of dealing with Titan for one more turn to attack in for the win, because we are an aggro deck, and we just need that. We usually just need that one more turn to carry our game through to victory. Not to mention, if they go Summoner's Pact into Primeval Titan, and expect to cast it that turn and thinking that it's going to go through, Aether Gust is going to buy us 2 turns, because we Aether Gust the Titan on top of their library, then they have to pay for their pact for 1 turn, they don't have the mana for Primeval Titan anymore, and then then hopefully we can win within those 2 turns. So Aether Gust also, I'm hoping, is going to help against Prowess. It's not card disadvantage. It's not like Echoing Truth, where you spend a card to bounce a card back to their hand, and then you're down a card and they just replay the card. Aether Gust puts the card into their library, on top or bottom of their library, so they don't get to draw a fresh card for the turn. They're going to draw exactly what they had before. So it's not card disadvantage like most bounce spells, because you can target permanents. I can target Blood Moon, and also you can target things in response to them cracking a fetch land. So let's say they crack a fetch land. Let's say Ponza cracks a fetch land. This might be an opportunity for me to Aether Gust Glorybringer back into their deck, and then they have to, whether it goes on top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. It just gets shuffled into their library. Could happen with Uro as well. escape Uro. They crack a fetch for Mystic Sanctuary. All right, I'm going to Ether Gust your Uro back into your deck. I don't really know if I might have one Ether Gust in my deck post board against Uro. I'm not sure because it looks pretty narrow in that matchup. Just gunning for Uro, but Uro is one of the most important cards you have to beat. So this is basically a list trying to test this card. And so far, Relic of Progenitus, Forced Negation, and Chalice of the Void have been good sideboard cards, so I will keep them as is. I mean, it's possible I could remove all the Chalice of the Voids and put them with Deprive, but then I would have no chance against Prowess, and I want to at least have something. I just don't want to have Chalice in the main deck. All right, with that, let's get into our league. So there's some questions. I saw that you placed in the Modern Challenge the other day. Yeah, I know. I got like 17th place, but I only had like a... What's it called? I had a... oh yeah, by the way, I'm not editing any of this stuff anymore. Basically, this is just a... Oh, do I have the right list? So I got 17th place with a 4-something finish. Oops, this is the wrong list. Let's drop. How do I get out of here? Where's the drop function? I don't want to play drop. You can drop for if you haven't played one round before. You're allowed to drop from events, and you see I get my money back. Change decks to the Simic one. Submit 100 play points. Go. View deck. This is it. Let's play our match. Give us Ether Gust Merfolk, yeah. Putting your name on that leaderboard today? Oh, which leaderboard? Which leaderboard? You mean the, there's also the Mana Traders league going on right now. The Mana Traders series. I'm definitely going to try to qualify for that, but I'm going to do it off camera. No stream snipers. Stay away from me, you stream snipers. Thanks to all the followers. We got Lord Gage, Born, Vinny Boy. All right, let's do this. We won a die roll. I'm surprised. And we're up against the Chubby Meatball Mirror, because our opponent also has the Chubby Meatball avatar. Yeah, the latest Mana Traders event is Modern right now. We're up against Lutri. So this is a one-of control deck of some sort. You know what? Given that our opponent is likely playing a control deck, I'm going to keep this hand because it has Cavernous Souls. This is not the greatest, but the fact that, like, Cavernous Souls gives you free wins against control decks these days. It's as simple as that. You just play Cavernous Souls and you just win. Like, because there's so many control decks that are just jammed full of counter spells, and certainly this is a one-of. Like the clause on this is you can only play one-ofs in your deck, but I mean it could be Storm, but I doubt it. But anyway, Cavernous Souls is a really big deal in a lot of control decks, and that's one thing I really like. Hopefully they do not have... Well, the good news is they can't have more than one Anger of the Gods in their deck, no matter what they have. There's only one Anger of the Gods in the deck. Could be other sweepers like Pyroclasm, but only one Anger. Nothing else. Storm with one of sounds terrible. It does. Okay, so there's still going to be a lot of spot removal. But right now we just have to jam through it. See how much spot removal early there is. All right, let's hopefully... is it going to go through? Okay, it's going to go through. Hopefully no Anger of the Gods in our future. Oh yeah, could have Sweltering Suns. Definitely. Thrill of Possibility. As additional cost to cast the spell, discard a card. Think twice, okay? It could be a combo deck. If it is a combo deck, I like my hand because it's pretty aggressive. It's very aggressive. Discard a card, draw 2 cards. Oh, that's a point that I never thought about that. Yeah, you could play more than one color. Why not? All right, Lightning Helix resolves. A land would be nice, because I would hit this plains for sure. Alright, let's... I would hate to play Spreading Seas here and it gets like Spell Pierced or... Our opponent's range is really wide. Super wide, in fact. So this deck is also going to be playing with like Teferi Time Raveler or something. Oh my god, this deck is messing with my brain. So they gotta have one-ofs. So let's keep... Cancel. Okay. Between trying to... it's... This seems like a good spot to Spreading Seas. One Spell Snare, one Spell Pierce. I think that's it. Okay, I'm just gonna... I would hate... There's a big advantage. Just keep putting the pressure on. And just try to grind through the removal. But at the same... Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. If my opponent has more removal, they have more removal. And we're just gonna have to deal with it one at a time. Well, Borrower is mana efficient, but I don't have... oh, you wanted me to play it for 3 mana? But I would have to pass the turn and play it at the end of their turn. It's not uncounterable. This is uncounterable. Like, these things are uncounterable right now. Because I've got Cavern of Souls on this thing. Oh, Lutri's not out yet. Okay, we got the Waterlog Grove. Is there... Let's start off with Mass of the Pearl Trident, see how our opponent reacts, and then I can play Spreading Seas, especially if our opponent like taps out. For example, like Cryptic Command, do something, then I can post Cryptic Command, tap this thing. And especially after Mass of the Pearl Trident hits the battlefield, our opponent will have a significantly harder time Lightning Helixing, Lightning Bolting, any of those things. You might see... Okay, the one-of Snapcaster Mage has arrived. And what's funny is they have to eat up one of these 3/3 creatures. Which will keep my Island Walker. They could play Blood Moon, I guess. I doubt it. So they keep gaining life, which I don't like. But nothing I can do about that. Alright, so I will... cut them off the white mana, prevent Supreme Verdict and any planeswalkers that could come about. The second Helix? Yeah, what is going on here? In your Lutri deck? So we do probably have to get the pressure on, because at some point, like, this is just going to start doubling spells. Oh, they got another white mana source. But they paid. They paid for it. A Johnny. Target permanent doesn't untap during its control. Its untap step, deal 3 damage to something. Alright. This is getting difficult. Like, I can tap Snapcaster Mage down, but if they've got Bolt, that's a problem. They keep gaining life. I need to be more aggro. So let's put him to the test. How do you have Spell Snare or something? No, nothing. Okay, I have to kill this Ajani, or this is going to be miserable. And Lutri's also going to be a pain soon. So far, no 1-mana spot removal. Lutri, Jeskai control, I guess. You have to play a lot of random stuff to fill the 60. You know what? I mean, like, if you look at a control deck, it's not that bad. I mean, they have, like, they're always playing with, like, 1 to 2 Planeswalkers anyway. So, I mean, how hard is it to put, like, 1 Jace the Mind Sculptor, 1 Ajani, 1 Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, Time Raveler, and all these things. Yeah, another Planeswalker. And they all cook my creatures. This, in the end, this is going to be difficult. Like, my opponent already has, like, way more cards than me. Or maybe not anymore. But the Lutri is going to double it, right? When Lutri enters the battlefield, if you cast it, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control, you may choose... Oh, so it's only 1 shot. So it's like it's going to act like a Snapcaster Mage up front. So that's not too bad, but still, like, I'm running out of threats. That is very convenient. I guess I'll crack a Grove. It was a bad draw. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I should have given myself the opportunity to keep Brazen Borrower up. Never seen this deck before, neither have I. Hoping my opponent's running out of stuff to do. If we had gotten to like 4 lords on the battlefield, that would have been great. Is it Lutri time? Hopefully they have Path to Exile and other weird white cards in their deck they can't play anymore. It's possible they have Lightning Bolt in their hand. They never wanted to spend it because they were waiting to get Lutri out. And they can also like double stuff like Think Twice if they have enough mana. That's not good news. All right, I'm gonna attack for 3. I'm gonna be very nervous attacking for 3 here, but I don't have a lot of room to sit around and do nothing. Like, my opponent's at basically 20 life, way more cards than me. Cryptic Command. That is hilarious. It's not what I thought was going to happen here. Okay, so this gets bounced. I'm going to lose my Merfolk Trickster. Just going to cast Borrower, and I'm going to recast the Lord of Atlantis. I'm going to keep 1 card in my hand, pass. I don't like Companions, but that deck almost makes me want to play Lutri. I'm already, like, strategizing, like, what do we do post-board? I guess I can bring an Aether Gust, because I can, like... I probably can bring Aether Gust against a deck like this. Even to Aether Gust something on top of their deck is probably a really good, pretty good line. Don't have to worry about, well, sort of. Okay, so now they're going to double it. I'm just, like, probably just dead lost here. Because I have 0 cards in hand. You know, something I didn't think about is maybe waiting till the Lutri was on the battlefield to prevent my opponent from getting 2-for-1 there. Ooh, Bomac Courier. What the hell? This Bomac Courier is actually just going to crush us. Because it's going to gain so many cards. Well, this is funny. I will dismember this Bomac Courier. Opponent can discard their card to draw 1 card. It's up to them. So I wonder, is there some way to recycle the Lutri? They want to bounce their Lutri and get value? If my opponent has nothing else in hand, maybe we have a chance. But I have to start drawing Silvergill Adepts into, like, serious gas very soon. Well, this life gain was very annoying. They should be at 9 life, but between a Johnny and 2 Lightning Helixes, that's not the case. Yeah, I'm playing around anything that's in Modern. I guess I'm going to attempt to dismember this. Better now than later. Could backfire if they've got... Well, they can't have Cryptic Command because the Cryptic Command is in the graveyard. I'm definitely going to be vulnerable. I mean, I twisted him with switch targets, creature and power. That's not going to do anything. It's a funny card to have. in your deck. Dies anyway. Evil Frozen Chaos has raided with a party of evil frozen viewers. Thank you very much for the raid, Evil Frozen Chaos. Welcome. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome, everybody. I'm Nikachu, the Merfolk Master, and I'm up against a Lutri deck, so they literally have anything in Modern in their deck. And they've so far shown us, like, literally. They have just played Twisted Image. But I'm the one with no permanents, and they have all the permanents, so, they're the ones laughing right now. This is a pretty crummy draw, but let's go. All right, I need to like draw into a million things. They also showed us Bomat Courier. It was very unusual. Hey, no problem. I was told you was a good guy, so I let the viewers choose a streamer. Awesome. Thank you, viewers. I am an awesome streamer. We're also the morning crowd. Oh, look at this. The second Snapcaster Mage. They can flash back my Dismember, but they're going to take 4 life. Or no, they don't take any life. You may cast this turn and spend mana. They're going to spend no mana. Or sorry, they're going to spend mana, but they're going to pay no life. Well, that's lame. We need Merfolk Joe to call out your next draw. Is he good at that? Oh, we finally got the Silver Gillidaps. Alright, let's chain these together and we actually have a chance. Like this into Lord, into another Lord is beautiful. Not a Lord, but whatever, I'll take it. Give me creatures. Sure. What sucks is, like, they have, like, 1 Lightning Helix in their deck. 1 Lightning Helix. Like, they'd be pretty close to dead at this point. I guess I shouldn't have let this thing attack. Okay, I sort of have to deal with this thing. So we're going to make it lose first strike, double block it, and exchange with it, because technically our opponent is the beatdown right now. This is going to be a long match. It's a Jeskai control Lutri. We still haven't even seen the best of them. I mean, there's definitely like Teferi, Time Raveler in this deck, and Hero of Dominaria and all those other cards. So we double block so that if they kill if I were to block and they kill my creature, then their creature would live. So doing it this way ensures that the creature will very likely die. It's a first striker, so it's like really hard to block anyway. I hope they have counter spells in hand. Like I hope that this Cavern of Souls is doing work. They have a lot of cards in the hand that they're not doing anything with. Mutavault's not bad. Anything that's gonna... I mean, I'm just hoping to draw anything that's not a land off the top of my library. Okay, 1 at a time. Didn't you have, like, a super grindy match against Jeskai Control last League too? I know, I did. I don't think it's back. I mean, it's just the leagues. Like, in the leagues, you can play against anything. Jeskai Control, at least, well, I don't know. Sometimes in these videos, we see the early iterations of, like, decks that are going to become a deck. So maybe it is on the way up. And we're seeing it for the first time here right now. Apparently, before Eldrazi became a really big deck in the metagame, I was, like, one of the earliest sources of video of Eldrazi showing up in Modern. So I don't know, maybe these sort of Jeskai shells are making a comeback. Don't know why it would. We're running out of lands, so I'd appreciate it if we don't draw any more lands, please. I get so confused with Magic the Gathering Online. I play MTG Arena, that's hard enough. Yeah, MTG Arena is like... Well, it's sort of nice. I think it's easy to use. Magic the Gathering Online is super complicated. It's terrible. Archmage's Charm, draw 2 cards. Go for it. Jeskai control has been bad in Modern for forever. No, that's not true. I mean, like a Pro Tour, like Jeskai control won a Pro Tour, but that was back in like the Twin Pod era. Like that was a very different. That was a very different metagame. Like one of the biggest problems for Jeskai control right now is like, what do you do about Eldrazi creatures that have toughness 4 and greater? Like your lightning helixes and your lightning bolts just get laughed at by Thought-Knot Seer, by Reality Smasher, by like everything else. Thing in the Ice. That is funny because I've got the appropriate card to beat Thing in the Ice, but it needs to survive. Do I hold this up? My problem is by the time that they flip this, they probably kill the Harbinger already. Well, I have more Harbingers in my deck. You know what? I'm going to hold on to the Harbinger. Looks like we're going into the long game, boys and girls. Okay, this I can play. This is very... Yeah, this is very spicy. I mean, this is a brew. I'm very certain that this is a brew. It's got to be fun to play, because, I mean, you have one of everything in this deck. So I'm holding up the Harbinger for the moment that Thing in the Ice flips, and then we can bounce it and reset the damn thing. The problem with... Okay, how many bolts do I have to dodge from now on? They played their Lightning Bolt. They played Lightning Helix. A Johnny's gone. Rift Bolt's been played. Oh, they gotta have like another burn spell in their deck, though. I'm just gonna save this. We're just gonna hold on to it. Because if I use Dismember, I'll go to 3, and then I'm just within dying range of any bolt spell. The problem is that MTG Arena is standard plus only. No, it's got like historic, and they haven't implemented older formats yet, but they're gonna have some too. Improbable Alliance. Whenever you draw a card, whenever you draw your second card for each turn, create a blue fairy creature token with flying. Draw a card, then discard a card. We're doomed. Okay, I gotta go. Gotta put the pedal to the metal right now. I will flash in the Harbinger, and we gotta attack. We do not have time. We have like 7 turns to go. Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Sonic Blast in this deck either. It's sort of crappy to use the Harbinger right now, but because I'd love to bounce a fairy. But desperate times call for desperate measures. Okay, I need an Island Walker right now, followed by another Island Walker. Yeah, we'll do this. Lava Dart, Lava Spike, Missions Briefing, Cycling, Rift Boat, Condescend. Yeah, everything. Gotta figure out, how do I win this? I think I'm gonna block the fairy. Well, I'm not sure. I think I'll block the fairy. Draw a card, then discard a card, get more fairies. Well, I'm way behind, so I'm probably gonna cast this Dismember. Because I'm just way behind. So now I'm going to kill the fairy. So that I have enough life to use Dismember eventually. Yeah, Thing in the Ice is in this deck. A Braid. Goodbye, Trickster. This thing is still going to get in for damage. Alright, so I still take 2. Or sorry, to still take 1. Island Walk Lord. I need Island Walk Lord into Island Walk Lord. There's no rare... Oh, these Dismembers. I drew all my Dismembers this game. My deck has no lands in it. My deck has no, like, almost no lands. My kingdom for my lords. So you're going to attack for 2. I'm going to go down to 4. I think that's it. I'm going to attack for 2, go down to 4. Maybe it's not it. Okay, I have one more turn to draw the Island Walk Lord. Because they can put a 3rd fairy on the battlefield. Then they attack me for 3 the following turn. I go to 1. But, I mean, it comes down to me drawing like a lord next turn. If they beat us, I hope they go 5-0. This is the antithesis of the one of our none philosophy. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's totally different in a control deck. It's completely different. It's very bizarre that they play Chart. Oh no, Chart Course still works. Okay, Chart Course still triggers this card. I mean, now we have to deal with Thing in the Ice flipping. I can't play my Dismembers anymore. Yeah, this is game one. We're already really down on cards. Bedlam Reveler! Okay, I get to see what's in their hand. It's like, what have you been hoarding this entire game? They had Sig River Cutthroat, Mana Leak, Familiar's Ruse, and Spell Snare. Alright, so the Cavernous Souls did really good work. But we just pooped out on creatures at some point. Fork Bolt on our creature, that's fine. I mean, I'm dead anyway, I don't care. Live forever for the spicy list. So you're seeing something spicy here. What am I going to call this? I guess I'm just going to call this Jeskai Control. Crackling Drake. Sure. I guess I have to leave some Dismembers in. I got to be able to beat Crackling Drake and Thing in the Ice. Oh, now you give me my Island Walk Lord. Well, this is useless. Okay, hold on. I'll just pass the turn to see what they have in their deck. Sig getting pumped by Lord of Atlantis. Yeah, I know. They should have played their Sig. And I'm very dead. Alright, we concede. It was almost a good game, but it was not. Okay, so what are we going to bring in here? Okay, so first off, Chalice of the Void is not going to be too bad. They have a decent chunk of 1-drops. They have a Braid for it, but like, you know, Chalice on 1 is not that bad. I think it'll be better than Spreading Seas, for example. Merfolk are fun. I always like seeing the deck. Of course, you are an attrition-based deck. Relic is not that good. They have 1 Snapcaster Mage, does not interact with Crackling Drake. It's probably not that good. We'll take out definitely at least 1 land. Maybe okay, I'm going to take out 2 Dismembers, but I'll keep 2 Dismembers for Crackling Drake or Thing in the Ice. Well, maybe I don't need anything for Thing in the Ice, but Crackling Drake? Maybe I'm just going to risk it without it. Definitely bring in the Force Negation. I do want to bring in some Ether Gusts. That can deal with Crackling. That can deal with... It won't deal with Lutri. Oh, no, it will deal with Lutri, right? It's a red creature. I think this is an okay spot to experiment with Ether Gust to see what it's going to do. I have 26 creatures post board. Hold on. What else does Relic do? It hits the flashback on Think twice. There's only 1 Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, we're fighting a Lutri deck. And by we, I mean... especially me. Actually thinking we should maybe go down an Ether Vial. No, they have just too many counter spells. But it's still really attrition. Okay, whatever. We'll submit this. Chalice on 1 and Chalice on 2 might be really powerful against this deck. I'd love to go first. Yeah, moral support. We're Twitch chat. We're at the best. Yes. For this Ether Vial was a land, it would be good. I will mulligan. Oh, okay, I'll keep this. Dump the island. Done. We can go Chalice on 1, Chalice on 2. It won't be lights out, but it will cut down an enormous chunk of their deck. And we have Cavernous Souls that we can play our creatures through Chalice. Yeah, Relic doesn't work against Drake, because it counts the cards in exile. That's the problem. That's why I kept it in the sideboard. See if we can get some value out of this Ether Gust before we get the Chalice on 2. Chat, Merfolk Grand Master. I pass. I mean, they've got to have Teferi, right? That can bounce Chalice. That's got to be a thing. Ugh. Ether Gust. You're gonna burn a turn on this. They put it on top. Alright, so we're just gonna replay our Chalice after they blow it up. Actually, we're now. I could play Chalice on 2 after they've tapped out here. Is that better? Delver of Secrets. So how many 2-drops do they have in their deck? I don't have to worry about this because I'll just bounce it with Harbinger. I guess I can just play this on 1 again. I guess I'll play it on 1 because it's less awkward for me. And we know it's going to hit the Delver. This is just the most mana efficient to like play this as it is right now. Messiah says, play it on 2! Play it on 2! Hit those Lightning Helixes and those Snapcaster Mages. Because they can go Snapcaster Mage Abrade. Look at this, I'm out of cards already. What the hell happened? Well, I know I'm mulligan, but still. Thrill of Possibility. Discarding their 1-drop, sure. We will play a land. I will get the Brazen Borrower on the battlefield. Outside of stupid counter magic and pass the turn and hopefully crack Waterlog Grove. Because they still have 2 mana counter spells. Crap, is this going to be a Johnny? Chart of course, that's fine. It counters my 2-drops, but it's not that big of a deal, because I do have Cavern of Souls, but I mean, at the time, I mean, we still have some Ether Gusts in our deck. If we hit Chalice on 2, it's probably going to be a lock. Chalice on 1 and 2 is probably very good. Brazen Bar is nice, I'll take that. Okay, let's do what we couldn't do last game. Let's start attacking. What in the world is this matchup? I know! Like, I don't get it either. They have things to do. Yep. Okay. Brazen Borrower down. I'll just play Harbinger. It's the most clunky card I have in my hand. You've heard of 2x Modern? May I present 1x Modern? Yeah. Okay, that's a good card. That's really nice. Because now, with Force Negation in hand, I can feel more comfortable just emptying my hand onto the battlefield. And while still having some protection. So, like, no matter what my opponent does, I'm going to play Merfolk Trickster at end of turn. Or maybe I should play Brazen Borrower, because this is more mana inefficient. And then if I draw a land, I can play Trickster plus this. Well, they have mana up. Okay, so I better just do it with something uncounterable. Yes, Lutri folk! Not happening. I do not have nearly enough instants for this card. Oh no, they're going to go Snapcaster Mage into a Braid? I'm gonna protect the Chalice. It's quite the price to pay, but we need to protect the Chalice. It's clearly doing something. I mean, they have Delver in hand, we know that. Ether Gust. I'm just going to pass, because if we just draw one Lord, we can start attacking into the Snapcaster Mage. But, like, we're... I can't say we're in a good spot here. Like, we're in a pretty bad spot. Because we have just so few cards compared to our opponent. Island Walker, give it to me. Thanks, deck. I appreciate it. I mean, you're playing a tier 1 deck. Get down, Mr. Chalice. Okay, now they're on their way to try to flip this thing in the ice the old-fashioned way. And I got rid of all my answers to this thing. Makes me wonder what would happen if I did put the Chalice on 2. Because they do have 1-drops, and they have this Delver in the air. It's a good card, but it's useless. I need power. I need at least like any Lord, so I can just attack into the Snapcaster Mage and not exchange with it. Click. That is not good either. They're targeting themselves. That's some good news. Well, I don't know what to say, but we're just we're like lost. I'm just like I'm completely down on card. Even though we have a Chalice and I'm certain that it's working, I'm just very far behind on the board, and now Search for Azcanta is just going to find useful cards for the rest of the game. Like I just haven't been able to actually apply pressure on the opponent. So it's gonna be. I mean, there still might be a chance. And like now, this Ether Gust is actually turning dead. There still might be a chance. Like if I can draw Island Walk Lord into Island Walk Lord, I have a chance. But at the moment, I'm not capable of doing that. Island Walk Lord. Not an Island Walk Lord. Lord? I mean, I'll take it. It's better than nothing. But not Island Walk Lord. I guess I can attack if they want to double block with Snapcaster Mage and Sig. It's not terrible. But I need to do something. Matchup like this is the exact reason you're playing Simic, and the Simic derps out of existence. Honestly, this is not the matchup I'm trying to play Simic, but it's okay. Okay, I'll get rid of this Sig. Because this looks like a headache. I like, no matter what, I still need an Island Walk Lord. Like, there's no way around that. I still need an Island Walk Lord in order to win. This is a matchup for Copter folk. It grinds well, but they have a lot of spot removal for the Copter. Like, between... It's a bit unlucky that they have... Like, remember, it's a one of a braid. It's a one of. I don't know how many other answers they have to Chalice of the Void, but they have only one a braid. Oops, I forgot. I could have Ether Gusted this. Okay, that we're gonna do something about. That's a bit too much. They put it on top of their library. That is fine. That's a bit... Oh, no, they're just triggering this. Okay, so... Okay, here's the deal. Lord into Lord still will lock the game. If I go Island Walk Lord... Actually, yeah, Island Walk Lord into... Maybe just one Island Walk Lord locks the game. Maybe. There's only 5 damage. They can't flip thing in the ice. Can I get an Island Walk Lord right now? Damn it! Okay, Merfolk. Because that now I can't do anything. Now the stupid thing will come down. I can't deal with the flyer. They attack for 3, then they're attacking for lethal next turn. I don't... Okay, well, I guess there's still a chance, although it's really crappy. I need to draw a Trickster, so I can Trickster this in combat, then gang block it, and then draw a Lord to win. No. I mean, it was just not... This match wasn't meant to be. My draws were very, very bad, and my opponent's draws were very, very good for a deck full of 1-ofs. I wouldn't say they're drawing straight gas. But the fact that they had their answer to the original Chalice, which is only a 1-of, and I imagine there are some other niche ways of, like, dealing with Chalice, like, maybe Teferi Time Reveler. We haven't seen that card yet. But also, what's it called? They're also drawing a lot of their non-1-ofs. I mean, maybe the 3 cards stuck in their hand are 1-ofs. What do I want to say? They might have some other ways of dealing with Chalice, like, you know, they have Cryptic Command. I don't know what else, though. There are very few ways, and the fact that they had a Braid right off the bat from turn 1 when we mulliganed was very brutal. If we go Chalice on 1, Chalice on 2, I think this game looks completely different. Very, very different. And it looks like it would have hurt them a lot if that was the case. And, like, almost all my cards would have been live. I think Chalice would have been good in this matchup. It clearly did something in this game. But unfortunately, we still had chances of winning the match, to be honest. Again, if I just draw an Island Walk Lord, and I attack for 7, and I can attack it for 7 again, and then just chip in the last point of damage, and then that would have been it. And I have Force Negation backup for it. What do you think of the new Crab that was previewed today? I think it's good for Mill, and I think it's going to make Mill a deck in Modern. Simple as that. Well, whatever. I got robbed. Like, this is going to be one of those 4-1s where I go 4-1 and I'm like, I got robbed, in my opinion. I don't think it's that easy, but I think I should have more than enough game for an archetype like this. But anyway, that was round 1. Let's get into round 2. So your deck's like, want more mana? Here. Yes, take all the mana you want. And again, I think the Cavern of Souls did very good job. I think. We know it did work in the first game. It made 3 cards dead. It was like Jeskai control. Ooh, this is a... what did we win the die roll or lose it? We lost the die roll, but I'm going to keep this hand anyway. We can't play our Comena Speaker on turn 1, but we can play Dismember on turn 1. And we still have a chance of drawing Green Source on the draw. I mean, if nothing else, I'll play the Silvergill Adept into Master of the Pearl Trident. Grove of the Burn Willows. What the hell? You have Punishing Fire in your deck somehow? Noble Hierarch. What the hell is this? I guess I'll Dismember the Noble Hierarch, unless I draw a Green Source. This is a very rare moment I don't have green in my opening hand, given my new Simic mana base. Rockonatus, exactly. Some games don't work out at all. I wonder if Punishing Fire will be in Modern Horizons 2. Maybe. The 017 crab? I don't know what you're talking about, Kai MTG guy. You know what this is? It's probably red-green Eldrazi. Makes me nervous about playing this, but I'll play it anyway. Because I don't have anything to do right now. They might be short on mana. Because they... Oh no, if they have Eldrazi Temple, they would have led off on this anyway. This actually looks like red-green Eldrazi, which is an archetype I have not seen in many a moon. Like, I haven't seen it in like 3 years. Yeah, it's red-green Eldrazi. Should we be fine against it? I'd be happier if I played Commander Speaker. Yeah, there's the Temple. Well, today's one of those days where we're not going to play against any of the standard archetypes in Modern. But, you know what? That is Modern. You can still play against anything. Anything at all. Next turn, we might see Thought-Knots here. Yeah, there's an active tree, Eldrazi, something. I know what you're talking about. There's, for 5 mana, they can, like, steal your creature and attack with it. Botanical Sanctum. Awesome. So next turn we go Master the Pearl Trident, Commander Speaker, and then even the following turn play Petty Theft and Commander Speaker. Zavel says, Nikachu, do you think we'll see something for Merfolk before Modern Horizons 2? No. I know I do not. I could just say that, like, what we get for Merfolk is really hit or miss. It's not really, like, you can't predict it. Like, when I thought for sure we were going to get something from Ixalan, like, this, make no mistake, this is an upgrade, but this is a very marginal upgrade from going from mono blue. It's very marginal. It's enough that I'm willing to go. I'll play Commander Speaker and Merfolk Mistbinder, but this is such a niche upgrade. They were better off. Like, I thought we'd get bombs, like real bombs in Ixalan and Rivals of Ixalan. We did not get anything. We did not get those bombs. We had a lot of really awkward green Merfolk that we did not ask for. So it's impossible to predict what we're gonna get. Another Eldrazi Temple. I wonder if there's got to be some innovation to this archetype. Like maybe they're playing with Karn the Great Creator or something. It cannot be like the same list from 2017. See, here's my Island Walk Lords that I was crying for in the last match. Trickster was the last major upgrade. So the problem, Force of Negation was a fantastic upgrade, but the problem is we're not the only deck playing it. So like if it was a counterspell that literally only Merfolk could use, that would be an upgrade. But because oh, that sucks. But why didn't they just take this one? Whatever. They want to keep their life total high, they want to keep their life total high. So that's new. That's not normal. Yeah, Force Negation is for blue in general. So the printing of Force Negation did not make Merfolk better, but it made everything weak to Force Negation worse. So those decks just disappear, sort of. Playing Commander Speaker on the second main phase. Always conceal information. Maybe if I played that Commander Speaker immediately before my attack, they stomp my Master of the Pearl Trident because they can see the power in the Master of the Pearl Trident coming in very quickly. Alright, so they're going to have 1,000,000 mana this turn. What are they going to do? Domri, Anarch of Bolas. Creatures can get +1/+0. Add red or green. Creature spells you cast this turn can't be countered. So you're going to play like... target creature you control fights another target creature. So I guess they're going to add mana. Play Matter Reshaper. Yeah. If they play Matter Reshaper, we'll just Petty Theft, play Lord of Atlantis, kill Domri. Oh, screw this. Stomp crap. Okay, so we're not killing Domri now. We have to deal with 2 Bone Crusher Giants. Well, I could bounce the Domri. That's not the worst bounce. Because apparently I'm not bouncing anything else, and I would like to start attacking my opponent. And if they tap out next turn to play this, more or less tap out, because they don't have anything that, like, the Bone Crusher Giants only cost 3 mana. Because I can't kill Domri this turn. And I don't want to bounce these things. I do want to bounce Eldrazi, but they clearly don't have... I don't think they have Eldrazi. Otherwise, they'd be playing Eldrazi. Okay, bounce you. Deal with you next turn. I'll play Lord of Atlantis, then that lets me play the Fairy and Commander Speaker next turn with my 4 mana. I think I'm going to play Shark Blade since we get something for Merfolk, says Zaval. Maybe we'll get some Viking Merfolk. It's possible. Anything is possible. But, like, I do not know at all. I have no insight at all. Or no one has yet emailed me in private to spoil me any of this stuff. Now I'll be upset if my opponent, like, taps out for Reality Smasher next turn. That would suck. I guess no, they can't play the Domri and cast a Bone Crusher Giant on the same turn. They gotta pick one or the other. So the fortunate thing is their hand has to be awkward. Like, it has to be really, really awkward. It seems like they have no Eldrazi, because they would have been playing Eldrazi with all their Eldrazi temples at this point. Keep gaining life. That's the nice... the fringe bonus they can get out of this. But it looks like they're adding red, so they're going to kill my Lord of Atlantis again. Or is it Bloodbraid Elf? No, it's Domri. Okay. Ah. It's a lot of removal to try to deal with, and removal plus a bunch of chunky creatures is a pretty good way of beating Merfolk. Not gonna lie. It's a pretty good way of beating Merfolk. What would you cut to fit 1 to 2 more lands in the deck? In this deck, none, because this is very. I don't even want to go past this much mana. Like, this is way too much mana for this deck. This deck has basically nothing that costs more than 1 mana. Oops! No! Oh no! I made a mistake. Oh, that's not good. I'm supposed to play the command. This thing is going to come into play tapped. Oh well. But in a mono blue deck, cut something. I don't know. Something would get cut. And the lands have to either be creatures themselves, or they need to be... the lands need to be creatures themselves. Or some sort of creature, like that mirror, that new clone land. That's totally fine. So very good card right now would be Spreading Seas. Spreading Seas on this Grove looks backbreaking for them. Because, like, all their red... They're completely dependent on this for red mana. But I do have to draw gas. What is this? 1, 2, 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm drawing a little bit more mana than I should. And also, these mana sources cannot be converted for anything useful. Like, they're not Horizon lands, they're not Mutavaults. Oh god. They play Stomping Grounds and shock themselves with that much mana. That's scary. Remember, maybe it's the intention of playing 2 Bone Crusher Giants on 1 turn. Which is possible. Yeah, there's a new... Jenny Fix-It. There's a new clone land that was revealed in Zendikar Rising. It, Oh, no. You have another Lightning Bolt? Oh, no. You're just waiting to your second main phase? Yeah, what's up with these matchups? Everyone's going 5-0 playing against normal stuff. Now, that being said, I have no problem playing against something like this. And hopefully the Ether Gust post-board is going to be a big benefit. But still, like, this is not what I signed up for. I don't even know what I want to draw. I think our opponent is flooding. Oh, I know what I want to draw. I want Spreading Seas into Island Walk Lords. That's what I want to draw. It's not impossible. There's some pushed Wizard card, Wizard payoff in the upcoming sets that is playable for Merfolk given how many we incidentally run. So that's, yeah, it's possible, but it's still going to warp the synergy of our deck. And it has, the thing with Merfolk that I really hate that they're not, like, that Thieving Skydiver is, like, in the right direction. It interacts with the battlefield. We need more Merfolk that interact with the battlefield, like, in a really impactful way. You know, one thing that made Reflector Mage take humans straight to the next level is that they had a creature that when it enters the battlefield, which also, by the way, had really pretty good stats, 2/3 is not too bad, bounced an opponent's creature, and they can't play it till the next turn. Alright, so well, anyway, this is getting miserable. Well, we'll see. Like, one Spreading Seas and a Lord can change everything. Anyway, this Thought-Knot Seer is going to get no value. What is the clone land, everybody? Something Mirror. Entity Mirror? Something Mirror. No. Come on, chat. Glasspool Mimic. I got it totally wrong. Sorry about that. Okay, our opponent did not attack us. That is some good news. Trickster is actually a pretty good card, too. Help us keep us on defense. And then you have Reach, right? And this Reach B crap. Okay. We got a 4-turn clock, at the very least. Go, Brazen Borrower, go. You can do it, Brazen Borrower! You can go all the way! All the way! If my opponent gives me the opportunity, I will triple block this Thought-Knot Seer so we can draw a card. Because frankly, keeping all these things on defense is pointless. Or you can play another Domri raid. 5-mana Reality Smash. Glorybringer. Glorybringer bringing the glory. Well, that's problematic. That is very difficult to beat. So that's the new spice in this list, that's for sure. So it should say it fights. It just deals damage. So it's going to be too big of a loss to let it attack, cook my Brazen Borrower, and then I have to Trickster it and double block it and lose 3 creatures for 1. That's too much. So I'm just going to delay the inevitable. We'll tap down the Glorybringer. And again, if we go like Spreading Seas into... Actually, even drawing 1 Lord would help. I would attack with everything so that at the very least the Bone Crusher Giants will have to... if they block, they would lose. But Spreading Seas into Island Walk Lord wins. The Temple is just camouflage. Well, there's actually Eldrazi in this deck. But it's very close to the old-fashioned red-green Eldrazi list. But it has upgrades with Bone Crusher Giant and Glorybringer. Okay, half the prophecy has been revealed. Look at this. They would if we hit this such a... Oh, no, I guess I should hit the Stomping Ground. Island Walk Lord. For justice! Justice for Nikachu. Okay, this is not too bad. Let's just take them off all the red mana sources. Harbinger of the Tides for the Glorybringer. Justice for Nikachu. Season to Lord or Season to Harbinger, I'll take it. We keep the game going, everyone. We keep the game going. It gets interesting. The story goes on. This is the magic of Merfolk. It wins by very bizarre... I mean, we could have just killed them on the spot, but it can also win by very bizarre margins. You're this close! This close! It's closing out the game immediately. I have to start considering going wide soon. I mean, if I top deck Merfolk Mistbinder, that might be enough to win next turn. 7. I can deal 7 damage next turn without Merfolk Mistbinder. So now Trickster actually is good too, because if I Trickster, I can just tap down one of these big dummies and attack for the win. Trickster, Glorybringer, Brazen Borrower, Lord. Well, if they play a creature, then it's not going to be as good anymore. Doesn't matter Reshaper. I guess it does matter, though. Oh yeah, if we get an Island Walk Lord, that just wins on the spot. But I'm just naming all the unconventional ways we can win here. Alright, we did it. Hopefully... And I think even if they have Dismember, they still lose, right? I think so. Well, I'm just going to go for it. Attack, they block 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so even if they have Dismember, they die. Because they have to Dismember the Lord of Atlantis, and they'll still take 5. That's 4 damage, then we just need to deal 5, and Brazen Borrower and a Trickster will do it. You never know what's going to happen in Merfolk. You never know what's going to happen. Alright, Aether Gust, do something. I don't know if you're actually going to do something in this match, but please do something. Force Negation looks like garbage. I think this is a matchup that's not going to be... I don't really believe in Kamena Speaker here. Or maybe I'll keep one in, just take out a land. I think that's it. It's a creature-based deck. The point is, we're not going to race them. We have to, sort of tempo them out. Against a bigger, chunkier creature decks, eat up the smaller stuff. Maybe I could bring in Chalice. Chalice on 1, dealing with Ancient Stirrings, Noble Hierarchs, and Lightning Bolts. Not bad. It might be better than Kamena Speaker. What else do they have at 1 mana? Ancient Stirrings, Lightning Bolt, Noble Hierarch. They might have something else I'm not thinking about. Maybe Birds of Paradise? I'm just trying to figure if it's better. The Kamena Speaker is very bad in this matchup. Or maybe it's not very bad. 2 Lords makes it a 4/4. Start outclassing some stuff, but it's just a very pathetic creature. Maybe Force Negation is better than I think, because they're playing with Domri. They're playing with Glorybringer. Ugh. Glorybringer. Zerthon subscribes with the Prime. Thank you for joining the wave, Zerthon. Merfolk really are amazing creatures. You can learn all that there is to know about their ways in a month, and yet, after 100 years, they can still surprise you. This is a very cute quote. Just replace Hobbit with Merfolk in the entire Lord of the Rings saga, and I agree. They're humble creatures. They like to grow things. And they haven't seen... But the difference between Merfolk and Hobbits is that the Hobbits haven't seen dragons in over 1,000 years, but Merfolk see dragons on a daily basis. We just saw a dragon. I haven't seen a dragon in these parts in 1,000 years. Or no, there hasn't been dragons in this part of Middle Earth for 1,000 years. Whatever. Okay, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to submit this. Anyway, thank you very much for the sub, the Prime sub. If you got those Prime subs, you send them this way. Well, this hand is not the most beautiful hand, but it's not the worst hand. Seeing Glorybringer makes me miss Tidebinder. Yeah, me too. Anyway, that was a pretty good game to win, because that was just a brutal circumstance to come back from. All right, Noble Hierarch will be played, and will stay on the battlefield. So we have some very tempo-y cards. Got some nice tempo stuff going on here. Again, they lead off with the Grove, so they very unlikely have more red mana sources. They don't need many, but unlikely to have more. Okay, let's see if they have more of their busted starts, because this is a deck that can reliably chain out like turn 2 Thought-Knot Seers. Welcome back, JZ1. There's Thought-Knot Seer, number 1. When we get the Vial on 2, I think this is when we're going to have some protection. That we can go like Trickster things, Threaten to Harbinger them at the same time. We can afford to lose a game. That's the good news, because we won game 1. Took the Dismember. Which, by the way, is not too bad when they take the Dismember. Like, I don't really feel like paying a lot of life when my opponent's playing like this big chunky creature deck. Of course, I'd like the clean answer to Thought-Knot Seer, but it's not that bad. It's much nicer to answer these creatures with these creatures. Okay, I have nothing to do but to play our Silvergill Adept, so that's what we're going to do. What kind of effect do you think Merfolk needs to be on tier 1? We need more power in the early game, that's it. Merfolk has like a really bad early game. That's the problem with Merfolk. Every successful deck using creatures, like, comes out gun swinging on turn 1. Except our deck. We don't have that. The best we got is a 1-drop that can situationally be a 3/3 if we've got, or if we have a Lord on the battlefield. We literally have a 1-mana 2/2 creature in our deck. Again, situational, to having like an island in play. That's the very clear difference between Merfolk and every other creature-based deck that wins the game. The best 1-drop we have is literally Ether Vial and sometimes Dismember. Okay, so I do have a bit of a plan to deal with all this. We're going to take 9 damage, though. Merfolk still has better aggro stuff than fairies. Yes, we got that, but you know what? I'd love to measure ourselves versus the better creature decks than to measure ourselves against the worst creature decks. A blue Merfolk that also ramps maybe. Lately, I haven't seen any tribal decks pop up since the Plague Dude. There's still like some humans around. Definitely Plague Engineer took a beating on those decks, but they're still around. Merfolk's still around. Merfolk's doing okay. So we'll take 9. And the plan here is just Silvergill, try to double block Thought-Knot Seer, maybe bounce Reality Smasher with Harbinger of the Tides. Maybe. Maybe just tap it down with Trickster. We have so many Tricksters, we might as well do that. So many Tricksters. I think Merfolk needs a Goblin Ringleader. No, we don't. We don't need more. We have enough card advantage with Silvergill Adept. We need power. Like, we are losing. We lose games like this. Like, we're not going to lose this game necessarily, but we would lose a game like this because we're getting raced. We get into, like, we're in a situation where I can't attack my opponent because my opponent's threatening to attack for me for way more. So I have to stabilize the game first, then attack back. But what if we had such a powerful start that my opponent could be in that situation where I go turn 1, Champion of the Parish Merfolk, turn 2, play a Lord, it's a 3/3, and then it starts spiraling out of control by turn 3 and 4. And then now your Stomps and all your other garbage doesn't, like, your Stomps, your Lightning Helixes, your Lightning Bolts, nothing can even touch it. Like, that was the power of humans. Pithing Needle. I wonder what you're gonna name. Anyway. That's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt. No lies. Because we have another Aether Vial in our hand. And this hand is really clunky. 1 mana, 1/1, which gave all merfolk +1/+0. It's not bad. It's not bad. Maybe that's fine. Nikachu, the Captain Kirk of the Enterprise. Oh God, we're done. We're done for. That's not good news. If that's a new addition to the deck, that's gonna be very painful. Okay, now what do I need? I don't know. This hand turned useless immediately after this Pithing Needle hit the battlefield. They had to have just drawn that. Yeah, we don't need tutors. Well, this is gonna help. This attack is... I guess it's... You know what? I forgot that the Noble Hierarchs are gonna give Exalted, so I'm trading 3 creatures for this one. I might as well. I'm about to lose everything to Blast Zone. So let's exchange. Let's get something. Let's get a little something out of 3 creatures. We're going to draw a card here. Champion of the Parish would help. They're never going to give us that because it would just be a clone of Champion of the Parish. But we need, like, the idea is, like, we need a 1-drop that can spiral out of control and scale with the game. And at least threaten more turn 4 kills than we get right now. Okay, more lands, the better. Merfolk Pelt Collector, maybe. Yeah, maybe that would work. That actually might work. Merfolk Pelt Collector. What the hell do I want to do? Harbinger? How much mana do you have? You have a decent chunk of mana. But if I Harbinger Reality Smasher and you play it... No, do you know what? I'm going to... I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to Harbinger this first. Sorry, I'm going to Trickster it. Then I'm going to Harbinger it. Then it puts our opponent in a really awkward spot. Or maybe not. How is this going to work? No, do I want Harbinger now? You replay it, attack. No, I take more damage. I think I need to push this game further. I need to push it longer into the late game. And I gotta somehow do what I can with like 3 creatures. Now, the plus side to this game right now is I am up on a lot of cards. My opponent doesn't have, like, they're running out of gas. How about a 1-mana 3/3 Merfolk with Island Home as a drawback? What does Island Home mean? Yeah, I know I can't Vial. I'm planning on just Trickstering and then on my turn, next turn, Harbinger. Give it Horsemanship too, yeah, sure. I'm sure this thing on 2 completely dodges our deck. Completely dodges their deck. Actually, do you know what? You know what's not too bad? Maybe I just Trickster like a million turns in a row until they're fed up and they play this Blast Zone. So my hope is I draw a land so I can attack with Trickster and Mutavault, and we just Trickster every turn. And then the turn that they crack the Blast Zone, then we Harbinger? I don't know if this is going to work, but, like, the position is pretty bad. Island Home is a really old garbage keyword. It kills the creature if you don't have islands, and it can only attack if the defending player has an island. Well, that's useless. That is quite useless to me. Noble Hierarch getting into the red zone. 2 damage. 2 damage it is. I cannot do anything about this. So we're getting hit for 3 a turn. I said always no. What part of always no do you not understand? They have enough mana to pop the Blast Zone. Alright. I think my only plan is to delay this game with Tricksters. I have nothing reliable. Looks like I'm gonna get stomped. Well, whatever. Bolted. A 1 mana 5/5 that can only be cast after turn 3. Nah, not good enough. We need something to. The problem with Merfolk is we lack good things to do on turn 1 that are also very good to do on turn 5. Sort of questioning Ether Gust if I bring this card in. I don't know if it's good. Now we're seeing the legitimate colorless side of this deck. If they didn't have the Pithing Needle, I mean, we would still be in okay shape, even with this Blast Zone on the board. Welcome, M515. Okay, that is interesting because they put their shields down, so I can Spreading Seas the Blast Zone and actually empty my hand if I want to. All right, so that's right. 1, 2. They don't have enough mana. Interesting. All right, let's see how this game goes. So now I'm on just why not play Ceremonious Rejection on the side instead of the full 4 Chalice because I don't need to beat Tron decks and Ether Gust is not going to help me very much here. Well, now what do? Block. I think I am dead. I needed to draw land there. Drawing spells when I need to draw lands. Drawing lands when I need to draw spells. Oh, if they have Bolt, then I was just dead anyway. Ceremonious Rejection. First off, this is not a deck in the metagame, so this is not something I want to prepare for. Second off, there's way bigger fish to fry than the Tron decks. It's fine if you want. Ceremonious Rejection is a good card, but I'm just trying to beat it with my aggro plan anyway. As the deck is built, I will crush Tron in general, like the regular Tron deck. Now, will I crush Eldrazi Tron? I don't know. So I'm on the play. Maybe I'll bring in Cometa Speaker and some Force of Negation. Like, I don't really want to bring in Force Negation. But do they have Karn the Great Creator? Whatever. I'm just going to keep it as it is. I'll bring in the island and take out 1 Vial because they had the stupid Pithing Needle. Yeah, but I can deal with... you just named a bunch of creatures that I can deal with my own creatures. Brazen Borrower, Harbinger of the Tides, Merfolk Trickster. The reason that they weren't even that overwhelming in that game. I'll keep this. It's awkward, but I'll keep it. Because I need to draw a Merfolk for Silvergill Adept. But maybe we'll buy ourselves some turns with Ether Gust. We'll see what happens. Side and Kevin? I don't know what that is. 69 viewers. Nice. Nice. Okay, I didn't draw Merfolk, but I can bounce this Noble Hierarch. And you know what? I can do it at their draw step so they don't actually draw it again for the turn, and that's going to make it really awkward. So that will hopefully make their hand really clunky, because if they were to draw it immediately, they would just replay it, and then they could play Thought-Knot Seer next turn. But by doing it this way, then they'll have like a... They might do nothing on turn 2. And then, oh, you're going to play Stomp? Or do you think you're floating mana for the second main phase? Because you were in your draw step. You're not doing anything with this mana. Alright, they had nothing to do. That's good news. Karplusan Forest. Puts Noble Hierarch on the bottom of their library. Alright, so it's like permanent. We just destroyed a Noble Hierarch for the most part. Nice. Okay, so that's useful. So we'll just attack for 2. We're doing something. Not doing nothing here. I guess I'm going to let that go. Let's get our bigger creatures out. Then maybe I can play Lord, protect it sort of with Ether Gust. That is okay. That's actually nice too. Opponent's gonna lose. Oh yeah, our opponent has 3 minutes left. I didn't even think about that. Wow, the time. How time flies. So if I Spreading Seas anything, it'll be the Karplusan Forest, because this is the colorless mana. Clock damage, I know. So Ether Gust is going to do double duty now. Matter Reshaper hits the battlefield. Well, fortunately, these can hit permanents. Okay, that's good. Merfolk. Would really like to have 2 Lord of Atlantis out at the same time so that they can't get stomped. So this is going to be... I mean, like, if they go Thought-Knot Seer, it's going to suck. And there's, like, Ether Gust does nothing to that thing. Alright. Nothing. Yet. Attack for 4. Not bad. That's great, because now if our opponent plays Reality Smasher next turn, we've got a plan for that too. The clock, we're going to win by clock for sure. Gotta play within a reasonable amount of time. Okay, so the best for us is if they play Glorybringer, because then we can Ether Gust into Brazen Borrower, and we'll easily race that. As the saying goes, time flies when you're playing a 3-year-old Modern deck. I don't know if that's how the saying goes, but it is today. Okay, so they have some red spell. I guess I'm gonna put this on Fairy. Maybe not. Okay, I'll attack. Maybe we don't even need to win on time. We have a 2-turn clock. And they did nothing with their Noble Hierarch. That's ridiculous. Oh, do you know what? I should have played it on Fairy. Because if they bolted this and I had to use Ether Gust, then this could still cast Brazen Borrower. Okay, we just win the match. I have no idea what's in their hand. Oh, just all lands? I'll take it. I'll take that victory. I will absolutely take that. I don't care how many lands you drew. It's all good. And we unnecessarily bounced ether gusted this thing. So this probably was useless. This did not really do anything. It did prevent them from having a turn 2 matter reshaper to race us. So that was something. It was not nothing. Anyway, we very luckily won this match. We might have just won on time anyway. I can't really say much about this game. You do have some game against red-green like this red-green Eldrazi, but I think the matchup's really tough, especially as the way I'm building the decks right now. So, but whatever. It's just not something that you prepare for because no one's playing it right now, except our opponent. So that was whatever. That's round 2. Let's move on to round 3. And so for anyone who wants to see the deck list, I didn't post the deck list, right? Let me do that for everyone watching live. Simic Merfolk Gust, and we can now cardboard live this thing. Simic Merfolk with like a gust of wind. Do you have a preferred mono blue list right now? Not exactly. If this is legit, I would prefer this. Like it's basically mono blue splashing Lurrus. If this is legit, and it might, I would play this. And it might be legit. It feels very promising. I've had some really crappy matchups. And and then my original build I had Chalice in the main, but I'm just taking it out now. Force of Negation is probably better, or even Deprive might be correct. But if Miyashi build is good, if you want to beat up Prowess, you know what? Like in M Hayashi's latest video, he also admitted you just can't do it. Chalice is just, if you put Chalice in the main deck, it's just not enough, because the most preferred version of Merfolk right now is Rakdos. Sorry, the most preferred version of Prowess is Rakdos Prowess, and they have Inquisition, they have Thoughtseize, they're very aggressive with Lurrus, they have Lurrus, and they can regurgitate things all over the place. They have a lot of 2-drops that they can still play, so still no 1-drop even after shifting Chalice. Yes, that's correct. So yeah, we've got to go Rakdos Merfolk, but no, Rakdos Prowess is such a problem and so difficult, and they have so many answers to Chalice of the Void that you're just handicapping yourself putting Chalice in the main. So anyway, this is if this works out, and I don't want to put too much effort into this because Simic is where I have just all my. If I just look at my win rate, I am just winning more with Simic. Period. That's the data for me. Yeah, and I'm just not going to argue with the data. I just win more with Simic, period. And if I play these mono blue versions, sometimes like they're good. I think there's something there. But specifically, I would love to explore this Lurrus version because I can just pull Lurrus out of nowhere. And I really like the idea of having Dark Slick Shores, and I can dismember using the Dark Slick Shores. So I'm going to save a little bit of life in a lot of matchups. But this is just where I am right now in terms of. What, like competitively, this is where I am. I didn't catch the commentary. Thoughts on Forge Tender? I don't even know what that is. Oh, great card. I mean, it's very well positioned right now. It still might not be the best, because if you play against Rakdos Prowess, they'll have Fatal Push. But at least overall, I think it's very, very good. I think it's a very strong card, and well worth playing. I know Lord Magicus made a 5-0 with a list playing 4 of them. Makes a lot of sense. And I have to say, Path to Exile is probably way better positioned now than it ever has been in a very long time, given that exiling the creatures, the Prowess creatures, is very valuable. Because if you exile the creature, then they can't get it back with Lurrus. That deck is saucy. Do your previous thoughts on Force Negation still apply, or is it better in that list? What do you mean? What about Force Negation? I don't know how anyone else feels about this, but I always got the question, like, How well does Merfolk do against in an unknown metagame? In my opinion, it does terrible. It does very, very badly. You want, because we are such a reactive deck, we want to predictably predict what our opponent is going to do with high accuracy. And like, you know, when we're up against that Lutri deck, like, I can't play around any of that crap. If I knew they're 75, I could do better, but I don't. And like that's a huge disadvantage. The only advantage sometimes you have when you're up against a totally random deck is that it's probably played by like a pony. So that's like your only advantage there, but outside of that, like you don't know what the hell is up their sleeve. Hey Merfolk Master, how are you? For you that just love some tribals, did 5-0 at the local game store playing for my first time, 5-color elementals. I have to say the deck is not a pony land at all. Elementals are real. No, it is. I made a video about that. I made a video. It's like one of the most unexpected, underrated decks right now. We lost the die roll, but the hand is actually quite good. Our opponent mulliganed, we'll keep. We are up against Layla of the Void. That is a very adorable name. Layla of the Void. Yeah, Cody Hope's here. The Cody Hope. Who also wins with Elementals. You and Paris should get together. Yeah, that's right. Chance? Oh no! Oh no, okay, it's the other Chancellor. What is this? Is this Neoform? I think this is Neoform. You reveal this card, gain some mana. Allosaurus Rider! Are we gonna get turn 1 here? Oh! Turn 1! By Neoform. Da, 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 da. So the problem is, even if they whiff, we're losing to a 7/7 Grizzlebrand. Which is not great. We do have a Merfolk Trickster, so... well, this is probably very likely over. I can yield through this turn. Now here's the good news. We have a million ways of beating this deck. We have 4 forces, we've got an aggro plan, we have 4 chalices. We have the Ether Gust, which is also going to help too. You can bring an Ether Gust, like... This is like a 95%er for us. I don't even remember the last time I lost to Neoform. And I can dump the first game, like, all day. I don't know why this deck is still allowed in Modern. Anyway, we're very likely going to lose this game, but that being said, it doesn't mean we lose the match. Summoner's Pact to thin the deck. Thinning the deck! Thinning the deck. I just beat a version of this deck. They need to make sure that their cards in their graveyard, or sorry, cards in their library is a multiple of 7, so they draw everything. They have 3 cards left in there. If their Thassa's Oracle's in there, they're dead. You got Manamorphose, draw a card, Thassa's Oracle? Where do you have Lightning Storm? I don't know what they're using to win these days. Well, they've drawn their whole deck. They haven't played a single Manamorphose yet, so it's probably enough. Oh, Laboratory Maniac. All right, win with 1 life left. Good for you. Da 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 da. I can't sing anything that's copywritten, so I gotta make it up. Brazen Bar is actually not too bad. Is Harbinger okay? I guess. I could just get rid of the Lords. Brazen Bar is fine because randomly they put a Grizzlebrand in play, they draw 7, then they whiff, and then you just bounce the thing, and it's not too bad. And it's a flash speed creature, so... And this can target Neoform and Eldritch Evolution. Is this everything? I guess this is everything. Maybe... You know what? I'm going to get rid of the Harbinger. Probably the lords are more important. Whatever, I guess we keep. If they just naturally have it, we lose. It's better than nothing. Don't let this be the league where I lose to Neoform, please. And they have some answers to this card. But it's a bit of an aggro hand, so I do want to play it. I can't keep this? It's not that bad. We might have a turn 4 kill. I don't want to mulligan. I can easily mulligan into the exact same hand again. Okay, we have a turn 4 kill. Chalice on 0 hits Summoner's Pact, so it prevents them from looking for Allosaurus Rider. They would need all the pieces of the puzzle in their hand by default. I don't think you can ask me to get 2 copies of this. Trickster is interesting. Okay, so what happens here? I can attack for 5. Yeah, I think what I do is I attack for 5, put my opponent, like, because if they do Neoform, I can Trickster it, and that'll slow it down a turn, and then we win. Attack for 5, go to 12. That will be 4-8, more than enough to win. They don't, do they even play Veil? I don't think they play Veil. If they have Veil, like, they need a lot of pieces together in order to combo off. Did you see the next Chalice reprint with the old brown border? I did. I am jealous. I honestly don't need the original one, but if I get the, if I were to want to go foil... Oh, this doesn't win! Because I don't have the Sanctum in play. Alright, I take another turn. Our opponent has to discard. See? You see? It's working. I know it's working. We Trickster the Grizzlebrand. And now we're in good shape because they can't even do anything with Grizzlebrand now. They can't even sack it once. They might like go Nourishing Shoal, but anyway, they need a lot of stuff to go right here. There's the Allosaurus Rider. Oh, did you find it? Neoform. Yes. But they're at 7 life. They can't pay 7 life. Okay, here's the scary thing. If I go Trickster, then they could go Nourishing Shoal. I would really like to tap it down first. Is there any way I can get through this damn thing? Well, whatever. They can't combo off here, so it doesn't matter. Let's just deal as much damage. Like, if they shoal... Okay, start digging if you want, but digging doesn't go anywhere. I mean, maybe it does. Maybe it does. No, they decide to kill themselves. Let's run that back. That worked. I think mulliganing that hand... It wasn't the most beautiful hand, but I had a Chalice on 0, and I had a very aggressive clock. I didn't want to mulligan it on the play. You could make some argument maybe on the draw, but on the play... I mean, you can easily go to 5 and have have the exact same hand, and you're just down 2 cards. And those cards will sacrifice your ability to curve out and hold up Trickster while attacking. You played as if you had force as well when you were holding up mana those turns. Yeah. Looked like that too. They definitely do have Veil, by the way. Do they? How many? They have 4? If they have 4, well, here's the awkward thing for them. I mean, they can play around this, or they can try to play around this. Well, I guess Veil hits both of these, but a lot of them use artifact destruction as well. Azax had 3 main, 1 side. Jeez. That's brutal. Then that's an extra mana that they need anyway. The deck, here's the thing about Neoform. It actually is really taxing to combo off. They need a lot of cards, they need a lot of mana, and they need no speed bumps. Like, nothing. So, it's not that easy to... Like, if the deck combos off reliably, if there is no resistance. If you have to bring in any cards to deal with resistance, then you are actually watering down your combo significantly. Usually you need like a card to tutor for your win condition. Then you need to burn 2 cards to play Allosaurus Rider. Then you need to have a Neoform or Eldritch Evolution. Like, this is like 5 cards here. And you still need lands to cast these things, right? It's not... That's why, like, we crush it pretty well. Or I would say Force of Negation crushes it. The Force of Negation's existence in the format makes Neoform just near damn impossible to exist. Especially if you go for the combo and you fail, I mean, you're just dead. You're just dead. You just blew a bunch of cards on you. Especially if you tutored with Summoner's Pact and you failed to combo off. Now you're just going to lose because of the upkeep trigger on Summoner's Pact. Yeah, Aether Gust is going to help us a little bit against Vile. Well, I mean, this hand is... I wouldn't say it's unbeatable, but, like, this is basically a win right here. We'll do the exact same thing. Wish I had a 1-drop, but, you know, you're not going to complain. You're not going to complain with 2. They mulligan to 6, I mean, it's over. If they have to mulligan at all... Like, again, this deck needs so many cards to combo off. And they have to fight through resistance. Yeah, Chalice on 0. Oh! Sacrifice until your next turn. Target player who has dealt combat damage by this can't cast non-creature spells. Alright, so we are now dependent on our Chalice of the Void. But again, they're now down on cards, so we can still race them. Yeah, the tech! Alright, it's a race. But again, they're down on cards. Like, 4 cards in hand... Like, how do you even combo off with 4 cards in hand? It's impossible. Okay, again, I guess I'll just play this. It's free to do that. Oh, they have to sacrifice this. So, I mean, I'm willing to burn this on a random card if they don't want to sacrifice the hope. So, like, if they play Manamorphose, I'll just force negate it because it's just 1 less card that's in their hand. Uh-oh. Well, you can combo here? Shit! They just had it. I don't know what they top deck, but they had it. Alright, you win. Alright, now we need them to whiff completely. I'm dead. I don't know what they top deck, but that was lucky. I'll admit that this hope is a big deal. Alright, so we're not dead. The game continues. No, but I need Trickster or Brazen Borrower. Aether Gust is not going to do it at this point. Because I need to bounce that Grizzlebrand. Whatever. I guess we're going to start with something. Gotta do something. And we definitely lose to an 8/8 Grizzlebrand. Yeah, we're going to counter Nourishing Shoal if we get the option. But we are digging for Brazen Borrower, I guess. If I am my opponent, I mean, I guess you can try to combo off here, but... yeah, I guess so. Somehow in my mind, I think you should just beat me with your Grizzlebrand. But I could be wrong. Like, what the hell's the point of, like, going to 5? That seems pretty risky. In my opinion. Maybe I should have kept all... look, if this was Harbinger, we're, like, really threatening to win the game next turn. Do you not have the Force when you played Neoform? I had the Force, but they played Hope of Girapir flying. So that when they top decked, like, the nuts the last turn. And by the way, we can still beat this card with Trickster on, like, a critical turn. I mean, we don't know when the critical turn is, but we can put the pressure on them. Sacrifice this, you gain life equal to the life you've lost this turn. That's pretty evil. I guess this is going to be the 5% of the time that I lose to Neoform. The anti-force tech is real. But again, like, one thing that makes it good for this deck, like, the more cards that they have to play to deal with our answers, the less cards that they have. Same thing with Wilt. I guess we're going to... well, we gotta force something. Then we're gonna force this. Screw you. Stay away from my Chalice of the Void. Force the Manamorphose at the end. Maybe that's a line. Force the Manamorphose at the very end. When they're trying to combo off and they have, like... no, but they'll keep a few cards in their deck. They won't actually, like, lose. Right, they have Veil Summer, as prophesized by Lord Magicus. Right, so now we literally do nothing. You can say you forced the issue. But I mean, there's a very good reason why Neoform is approaching 0% of the metagame. And the main reason is, like, the more cards that they have to bring in to deal with our answers, the more watered down their combo is, which is already very card intensive, and which they mulliganed in this game to go look for it. I mean, it's possible that they were only one land away from comboing off, but it's still significant. You could also say our force was negated. Deck will be getting better with the new set. Do they have some new stuff, Bishark? Yeah, but Lord Magicus, that's true, but they've had Veil for forever. You know, they've had Veil for absolutely forever. And this deck is still close to 0%. Like, it actually had a higher win percentage earlier in the metagame. Like, a year ago. Need more force decks. The lands are green spells. Alright, so we lose the match. Nothing you can do. You know, if you get pair, if they have it all, then they have it all. And I can tell you from a lot of experience, they most definitely do not have it all the time. I will say, you need to have a decent chunk of interaction. And maybe one thing that helps this deck is that there's a lot less Grafdigger's Cage in the metagame. Like, what do you need Grafdigger's Cage for? Or at least... I don't know, I think there's a lot less graveyard hate right now in Modern. It doesn't interact very well against Ponza or Eldrazi Tron and Tron, so people are... And the graveyard decks, I would even say the control decks don't even want to play Rest in Peace, because they want to use their own Uro. Whatever. We lose the match, just move on. Let's move on to round 4. Has anyone ever played against Neo in Paper? I've never seen it. I have not either, because it just started getting popular. You know what, Lord Magicus? The results have to come in, like, big time, because I don't think they have. I mean, if they want to play with the Veil approach, they are very welcome. It also has to beat, like, Eldrazi Tron which has a lot of really good artifact spells to lean on. They have Chalice in the main on 0. I mean, yeah, you can have Veil of Summer in the main as well, but you also have to deal with like uncounterable Thought-Knot Seers that are stripping your like good cards from your hand. The deck has a lot of problems. Like it has gone through a year, and I don't think 4 cards are going to take it from 0% to 10%. It might take it from 0% to 1%. Like the deck has a lot of serious problems to deal with right now. So we won the die roll. I wouldn't say I love this hand, but I will keep it. It fell on its face. El Rodio-san has seen it before. 101 Nick subscribing for 3 months in a row. Thank you very much, 101 Nick, for the 3 months. One day I'll wake up early enough to catch a morning show. Yes. Motivate yourself. Get up early. Did we win a die roll? No, we did not win the die roll, but our opponent's mulliganing to 5, so that might be good news. How long is this MTG bot going to be broken? It's been broken for months. Hey, Tuxdev, can you, like... I swear it's working for other people, but I don't know. Like, should you just, like, maybe uninstall it and reinstall it? Or will that, like, remove... Oh my god, are we up against it again? Are people just excited about Neoform? Oh, I'm going first? No, I did win the die roll. Alright, that's good. So we're up against Neoform again. Hand is very poor. For Neo... We have nothing for it. Well, do you know what? The hand is not bad. If I'm going to have Neoform... If I'm going to have a hand game 1 against Neoform, might as well be this. But I prefer one more Lord. Yeah, we're 1-2 right now. Well, let's see it. Let's see if Neoform got broken. No, mind you, we're in the losers bracket, so that's not boding well for Neoform the deck. Like, we're not playing this in the winners bracket whatsoever. 1-2, yeah. People being creative with the emotes. Alright, so that's 1 Metamorphose that is burned. Excellent. Alright, we have basically turn 4 kill. At the very least, we'll play Lord of Atlantis into Trickster on their combo turn. Or actually, I can attack for 5, play Trickster. No, that wouldn't still does. It's not enough. Attack for 5, they go to 12. I can play Trickster, but that's not enough. Oops, cancel. So here's a great example of what is likely the deck just failing itself right now. Because it doesn't have the right density of cards. It also could be just the player. Okay, you have to combo now, or you die. So let's see if this song and dance is going to be different than last time. Okay, we get rid of Dismember. I think we get rid of Dismember. Hope a gear up here is pretty annoying. We can deal... We sort of can deal... Well, no, we can't deal with it. The Trickster doesn't do it. I think I'm right to take out Harbinger. I think. But maybe we should be playing this more like a control deck and less aggro. 2 Neoforms in a row. Well, it's a change of pace from all these like really sluggish decks that we played in rounds 1 and 2. Okay, now this I'll mulligan. This has 0 interaction. Our opponent mulliganed as well, so that's good. I don't really like this card. I don't really like this hand either. But our opponent mulligans, so we'll keep. We'll dump the Mutavault. No, maybe I'll dump a Lord. Just keep the mana coming. We need as much... I want to get to a point where I can Ether Gust. Like, I'm going to play like a control deck here. I don't know if that's the correct thing to do, but that's what I'm going to do. And then, I don't know, Mutavault is an attacker anyway as well. It's karma! Well, win or lose, Neoform always leads to exciting games of Magic. Well, it leads to very short games of Magic. You want to combo off in the face of a blue mana source? Do you? Do you, Eggy Benny? You want to do it? You want to go? No? You don't want to go? Alright. Let's play patiently. Should we play patiently? I'm gonna play a little patiently. I have like nothing to lose. I don't want to play too patiently. Well, I learned that I can be quite a bit patient against Neoform. Stuck on 1 mana. It's so tempting. You know what? I am going to play a Silvergill Adept here. I'm going to blow my patience for 1 turn so I can get to that 2nd mana source. Don't combo off. Don't do it. Don't do it right now. Just don't. Say no to combo. No! Ugh! One turn, and I get punished. Alright, well, we can still win. It's just less likely right now. No, well, they can beat Gust. They can beat Gust if they prepare themselves with if they naturally have it, then they can just wait for another mana for what's it called? Veil of Summer. This is the 2nd match. Yes, this is the 2nd match, and it seems like I've really blown this game. The problem, I didn't like being stuck at 3 lands because I'm not putting any pressure on my opponent and I'm not really playing anything. And if we keep passing the turn, it will help sculpt their perfect hand, which I didn't really want to do. Do they have Chancellor of the Tangle? Oh, no, I keep thinking it's the white Chancellor that prevents you from countering cards. If they don't combo here, we win. Okay, it looks like they're going to do something. Because we can play, like, we can draw... Well, we need to draw land, but, you got it. Can I draw a land? White mana source? Oh, gain life. This is the new version of Neoform. I have the nuts against humans on the draw right now with 0 lands. Keep. It sounds like you don't have the nuts. Oh yeah, that's true. TIST, yeah. It won't beat Veil of... No, hold on. You're right. It doesn't beat Veil of Summer. It makes makes your spells uncounterable, but it doesn't give them hexproof. Okay, slow down. Stop. No, they don't have an island, so the island walk is not even going to do anything. Okay, I can't do anything. Let's just yield through this. Alright, I think I learned my lesson. Just don't tap out. We're going to pass the turn back and forth. Then when I had 4 lands out, I should still pass the turn back and forth. Yeah, just gotta respect the combo. Yeah, the 1 turn, because they didn't have any land drop for multiple turns. Last league I played, I kept a 0 lander versus Tron and won. I kept a mull to 5 with 0 lander even. I've kept definitely no land hands before. But with the London mulligan, it's pretty risky these days. Alright. Eggy Benny wins. Run it back. No, I didn't have Vial. I drew the Vial. I tapped out to play Silvergill Adept. I drew the Vial, then I played the Vial. Vial didn't come first. Vial came second. No, all this thing being said, I would love it if Neoform comes back. Because, like I said, I think this is a buy for Merfolk. Like, it's a super buy. Like, I probably just punted right there into that loss. But I will be happy play 5 matches in a row all against Neoform. I very sincerely doubt that Veil of Summer is going to bring this deck back over the top. But they are playing with that new one mana creature card. That might be a big difference. They gain life equal to what they lost. Would you like to play first? Yes. Because that gets around Chalice on 0. Hand is great. We keep. Let's hope that there's going to be no hope of gear up here. Opponent mulligan to 6. That being said, now I don't think our opponent is stream sniping us, but I don't know if my win rate is as high when I'm getting stream sniped. Or ghosted, I should say. Make Tuxdev happier. Land, Chalice 0. Not BSing around, pass. All right, let's get Lords. One at a time. It's going to be like a very slow clock, but 2 Waterlogged Groves. Looks like they're going to go for it. And that's probably game. Oh, they want to keep. You want to keep going? All right, we can do that. That's fine with me. We can keep playing. Usually they just resign at this point. I mean, I guess I have to prove that I have creatures on the battlefield. Maybe they can catch back up. The children. Fortunately, oh, this is 8, so that's good. When they go to 7, well, it didn't even probably need to go to 7 because the Waterlogged Groves are dealing damage to them. So long as they're below 7, that's over. Now, even if they get Grizzlebrand on the battlefield, I can Brazen Borrower it. No, they don't have enough cards. I mean, you're stone dead. Alright, we lose one, we win one against Neoform. If Neoform's coming back, I welcome it with open arms. Oh, they got Pact of Negation? Or this version is playing Pact of Negation? Well, it gets... Maybe this is the older version. No, it can't be. It looks still similar to the first one. Chalice on 0 hits Summoner's Pact and Pact of Negation. Neoform and some giant worm that is uncastable. Absolutely uncastable. Alright, so that was round 4. Let's move on to round 5. See if we, maybe we're going to play against one more Neoform. I think they play some number of both. I will welcome Neoform with open arms, if that's going to be the hot deck right now. Merfolk will be on the super rise if that is the case. No, we still have to have the interaction. Like, if you don't have Chalice of the Void, you don't have Force of Negation, then you can end up being screwed. Like, you need some free stuff to use. Chalice is nice, because it does help you against the Hope of Gear Appear card. Yeah, we have not played against anything conventional in today's modern metagame. We have played against 4 unconventional decks. Neoform, let's be serious, is like close to dead. We're going to remind everyone, it is 0% of the metagame right now. Maybe it's making a comeback. I'm not familiar with it. Lord Magicka seems to be a little bit more familiar with it. But we faced it in a non-winning bracket. Mishra's Bauble, but not a Lurrus deck, so not Prowess. Or I guess it could be mono red. I don't think most players want to go to their local game store and play 5-minute matches. Well, what about Infect? What about Infect? If this is... Well, I don't know what this is, but if this is Grixis Shadow, this is pretty good for us. Our hand is, like, pretty delish. A lot of interaction, a lot of card advantage. They targeted themselves with the Bauble. What did they do with the first one? They targeted themselves. They targeted themselves twice. It is Shadow. With a Misty Rainforest? I guess if it does the same thing as any of the other lands, it's okay. But you can only get blue. You're not going to get green. Okay, I stand mistaken. This is a Sultai Shadow list. Oh, we once played against Sultai Shadow, right? Since when are people playing at their local game store these days anyway? A lot of people. Like, a lot of people are. A lot of people are going out. I most definitely am going nowhere. And I'm in a pretty safe city. But I am used to the hermit life anyway. This is a great card. I guess I'll just tap out to do this. The Commander Speaker. I don't see any reason to hold up Dismembers right now. Oh, is this like Uro Shadow? Because what's his name? G Hash experimented with like an Uro Shadow deck. Oh, welcome Eggy Benny. Good games. Yeah, this is definitely at least Uro something. Gust good against every matchup except well, this Gust is probably going to be good in this one too. So it looks like it's Uro Shadow. Eggy Benny, why are you playing Neoform right now? What's the deal? Is there like... Is Neoform on the super rise? What's going on with Neoform the rest of us don't know? There's no amount of prevention that can make a shared space safe for 4 hours at a time. Hey, in Modern right now, all you need is 1 hour. Mask mandatory, can't touch other decks. Like, I'm seeing all sorts of pictures on Twitter of people at their local game store, so... What can I say? Well, this has to be... I'm just gonna play as if this is... I'm hoping this is not control. I'm gonna get, like, crushed for an enormous chunk of damage. Or, sorry, I'm gonna get crushed by, like, damnation. I just want to put, like, as much pressure on our opponent as possible. But if you have Street Wraith in your deck, I'm under the impression that you are a Death Shadow deck of some sort. Sultai Field, probably? Maybe? What are your thoughts on comboless Neoform? Just Grizzlebrand Rider and Neoform? Not good, because there's a lot of answers to, like, just Grizzlebrand itself. Oh, that is painful. That sucks. Especially when I... because, like, I have the Dismembers in my hand. I could, like, Dismember one of my creatures. Well, they're running out of... Well, they're running out of cards, but they're about to get the, Okay, so I'll Vial and Silver Gillidapt, see if I can draw a land. Well, it'd be nice to draw a land. I did not draw it. Dismember the Scavenging Ooze, attack for 4. So what? Uro can come back. We can bounce it with Brazen Borrower. They go to 8. Attack for a lot. Is Simic Merfolk has a good matchup against Ad Nauseam? That's debatable. It depends how much interaction you have. I'm very comfortable if I have like 8+ pieces of like sideboard hate that just incidentally hit other decks. What the hell is going on here? Is this just like What's with the Street Wraith? Like, that's my main problem here. What is with the Street Wraith? Well, they didn't have a land to play. That's some good news. No! They're going to take my Borrower. Maybe it's just graveyard filler? I doubt it. Okay, so it's not too bad yet. I mean, I can attack with everything, dismember the Uro. They still take 4. And if they don't, I can still Trickster it. I would lose a Silver Gillidapt. You're at 3. Yeah, it's worth doing. Okay, so they need a card in the graveyard to just bring this thing back. And then if it comes back, they go to 7. Well, hopefully we draw a Lord. This is very bizarre. This is very bizarre final game here. Uro returns. But this will be the last time it returns. But I still need to beat my opponent. And our opponent has gas in hand, right? They, like, played Uro and they didn't even play anything. I guess I'm going to play Silver Adept. I need to draw an Island Walk Lord. Did not draw. We're drawing a lot of gas, too, to be honest. This was stupid. I shouldn't do that. Because now we can get Maelstrom pulsed really hard. Okay, so let's reduce the risk and also still threaten victory anyway next turn. I guess I'm going to hold this Ether Vial. But this is probably not going to work. This is the dumbest league I've had in a long time. So for example, with at least an Ether Vial in hand, our opponent might Thoughtseize us here to get the last card out. And then have a really hard time beating these creatures. Oh, another Uro. Maybe their hand is just full of Uros. I wouldn't say any Lord wins, because our opponent could certainly have removal. That Maelstrom Pulse was just too much. I couldn't see it coming. That helps a lot. That does help a lot. That's not a useless card. They have another piece of removal. Okay, that sucks now. Again, I need like a top deck alert or something. Sultai in this Blood Moon economy? I know. Well, we are in a pretty bad bracket. What, we're 2-2 right now? So we're not exactly in the winner's bracket at the moment. I'm just trying to think. Is there any downside to casting this? Like, does it give my opponent the ability to play Remand? Street Wraith. All right, Island Walk Lord. Just give it to me. I worked so hard to get to this point. Ugh. They attack with Uro. They gain 3 life. They go to 8, so I have to hope the next 2 cards are trash. And like they can't even cast the second Uro from the graveyard. This is another great example of a deck where knowing it would help a lot. Like if I know Maelstrom Pulse is coming, I would definitely not expose my Merfolk Mistbinders in the beginning. These are all bad things. Now I don't know what I want. I don't know how to win from here. Maybe Silver Adapt into Lord. But I'm running out of Silver Adapts. I guess this was pointless. Because now I'll be empty-handed. How to win from here? I don't want to see you losing to this deck. I don't want to have nightmares. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. There's still a game 2 and 3. And it's gonna be good because I have relics and stuff to have some answers. And they play with Goyf, sure. I might not have shown that. Like I'm very unlikely to win from here. Wow, I needed this when I was attacking when there was a Street Wraith in front of me. Well, it didn't really matter. I still didn't have lethal. I'm here to play Silvergill Adept and draw Lords, and I'm all out of Lords. They've Cling to Dust? Okay. I'm not certain. I think this deck has Death Shadow in it. I mean, maybe this is just a really aggressive, what's it called? A really aggressive Uro deck. So, Aether Gust looks fine. Relic looks amazing. Force Negation is really iffy. Spreading Seas looks terrible. Dismember is okay, I guess. We just saw the front half. They've got Scavenging Ooze, Tarmogoyf. I mean, it's Sultai. It's like, instead of Jund, they're Sultai. So, we're on the play. I'll take out 2 Vials. I guess I'll take out 1 Kumena Speaker because it's not that good. Any important spells to Force Negate? Not really. Submit the deck. I don't like mulliganing against such a deck. But I can't do anything but pass the turn with this hand. Alright, this hand's a bit better. I'll dump the cat. I think I'll dump... Yeah, I'll dump the Cavern of Souls. Because I do need the blue mana for Aether Gust. And I sincerely doubt this deck is playing with... counter spells. And they kept 7 cards, which is not lovely. It's going to be Inquisition or Thoughtseize. It's like Jund, but they have a lot of card advantage with Uro. Took the Dismember. Pass the turn. Goyf incoming. Or Ooze. Is there anything to eat? I guess there's a Street Wraith. No big deal. I'll just Trickster, get something on the battlefield, start attacking. I'm probably gonna ignore the Ooze unless they like invest so much mana into it that I have to Aether Gust. I'll just attack for 2. Keep up Aether Gust if necessary. Really not that big of a deal. So if they want to absorb, if they invest mana into this by eating their Street Wraith, I mean that's okay with me. No blocks. I'm winning this race, in my opinion. Goyf is fine. Okay, let's get a better picture about what we're going to have with our hand. Okay, I got that picture. I guess we're going to get rid of this Tarmogoyf. So they have removal. Otherwise, they would just played Forest Swamp. What do? They put the Tarmogoyf on top of their library. That's convenient. That is very convenient. Our opponent's playing pretty smart. Like, they wait for us to vial things in play, so we have a very patient opponent. They don't have removal. Okay. So I'm the only one with instants in my graveyard, so I can start eating my own graveyard as opposed to eating my opponent's graveyard. I mean, very likely I'm just going to crack this on my turn. Because it looks like they are choked on mana. I mean, they don't even have double black right now. If the mana base is that bad, maybe I should still have Spreading Seas in the deck. It's like, what if I crack this relic right now? You eat the Street Wraith. So I'm in a spot where I can play nothing. And I attack with Silvergill Adept and Trickster. They block. They activate Ooze, I crack Relic, I eat the Street Wraith. They could do it twice, but then they can't kill anything. And then that's when I vial in the Merfolk Mistbinder. Because they couldn't kill anything with the Swamp. Unless they're really holding on to a Fatal Push really hard. So, you know what? I'm actually just going to start. I should actually just be eating at their live. They don't have a Tarmogoyf now here, so I'll just eat at their graveyard. And I'm going to hold the Mistbinder in hand. If I draw a Lord, this will make this attack really easy. So it looks like they were like representing Abrupt Decay plus eat something. And if I attack with these two, block. They could Abrupt Decay, I guess, the creature that they blocked, so I can't pump it up and kill the Ooze. But they can only attempt to eat one creature, and then I can crack the relic. Okay, so let's attack. I can vial in Merfolk Mistbinder. I mean, I'll just let things trade if that's what our opponent wants to do. Now, I guess this isn't going to work out if they do have... Do you know what? I didn't think about it. If they do have Fatal Push in hand, this is not going to work. Because they eat twice, and they still have Fatal Push available for the Mistbinder that they do know about. Alright, well, I have no choice now. I'm all in on this line. Well, they did have the Fatal Push. Our opponent's playing very well, very patient. Maybe have removal and wait for Crack Relic and eat the thing. Oh god, Plague Engineer is brutal. Alright, we're in trouble. They were choked on mana. Guess the correct... And now we're flooding. The correct line was, I guess, pass, pass, pass. Alright, well, what can I say? Our opponent played really well to, like, baby their... I thought they had Fatal Push, but then they didn't use it. Which maybe means they don't have a lot of removal in their hand. Like, right now, their hand is, like, very clunky. And I guess it makes sense. They've got Tarmogoyfs and Plague Engineers now that we're seeing this hand roll out. Now if I draw Dismember, I don't even know what I want to Dismember. And now they're holding up Abrupt Decay. This is very crappy right now. We didn't even see the Silvergill Adept on the battlefield. I'm just drawing lands. Well, Nah, it doesn't matter. Okay, I can just concede. All right, we go 2-3. Very bad showing. This is my, I think this is my first 2-3 with this list, or something similar to this. So what can we say about Ether Gust? I can't say I can say anything because we got we had all none of the matchups were something that I could prepare for in the metagame. It was just all random matchups. So I really can't say anything. It was basically a waste of a league. Like, I will not see any of these decks again, except for maybe Neoform. But for Neoform, I don't need anything except for mostly Force Negation, Chalice, and then like I guess Ether Gust is fine to have. But aside from that, it was just a crappy league. We didn't see Prowess, we didn't see Ponza, we didn't see like the normal Uro control decks. We saw like a Sultai Uro deck, which by the way, I actually think this was fine. But at some point, even though I took out 2 vials, what happened? We took out 2 vials and we mulliganed and we're down on cards and we still like drew a bunch of lands against them. I mean, that's just gonna happen. And again, unknown deck. Like I said earlier in this video, I am most vulnerable versus a deck I have no idea what's in it because I can't play around anything. And I definitely lost that game because like Merfolk, I put like 2 Merfolk Mistbinders on the battlefield. Could not expect that they had Maelstrom Pulse in their archetype. I couldn't tell they were more closer to Jund than to Death Shadow. Did not see that at all. I don't know, nothing. I really nothing I could say. I wish we had a better how can I put it? Better matchups or something more representative of what I'm preparing for, because if I'm not going to play against the decks I'm preparing for, then of course the deck is not going to interact properly with the metagame. But anyway, with that, that's going to be the stream for today. So thank you very much for everyone who showed up. And whatever, I hope someone learned something. It's still it's still educational value. This league was a dumpster fire. There eats Jeskai. Yeah, be prepared for your Jeskai, Lutri, Red-Green Eldrazi, and Sultai Uro metagame. Be prepared. You never know when those things are going to just jump out of nowhere. And all the Neoform decks, they're back. I don't know. Maybe Neoform is going to be back. That could be the only one, but unlikely given we were morally in the losers bracket, and I expect that Neoform is just going to get its head kicked in if it really tries to make a good move to being part of Modern again. I think there are just too many answers, and I think they need too many answers to defeat our answers, which waters down their entire game plan. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We're going to thank all my patrons and Twitch subscribers for supporting the channel. We're also going to thank themanabase.com and Mana Traders for being our sponsors. This has been Nikachu, Merfolk Master, playing Simic Merfolk in Modern.